Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have a story from our sister who shares with us her most painful experience in life and the evil things she had to do to become rich in life. She explains to us why and how she did what she did. I mean, she reveals to us the processes she went through before she could get the money she was looking for. Now what she fears is that she really feels that her days on this earth is almost finished and she feels death around here. This is what has prompted her to come out and talk about the things she has done in order to warn other young people out there to be aware of certain things that are going on and killing people at the end. Without taking much of your time, let us go and listen to her story. Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload.
Hello brother, I would love to share with you my life story and the very things I have done to which are haunting and hurting me today. I am in my late 30s and when it comes to money, I can tell you I do have it in abundance. But what I lack is happiness. At first, I thought having money is the guarantee of happiness. But I realized after I had gone all through the very processes that I have been through that having money doesn't guarantee happiness. If I had a chance, just one chance to change something in my life, that would be the very day I stepped foot in this place where I sold my life to the evil one for money. You see brother, I have never experienced what we call joy ever since I went for the rituals and made money for myself. I only put on a smiley face whenever I'm in the public place. But when I return home alone, I cry a lot. My life has been having to bring in different men to sleep with as a form of making myself happy and also taking to drinking as a woman. The most painful aspect of this whole thing aside what I did, I was instructed never to give any of my blood relatives money. But if I want to give a helping hand, it can always be someone from outside and not my blood relative. So, when my family members do ask me for money and I turn them down, I go into my room and cry like a baby. Because I know they know you have money and can help them if I want to. But I cannot explain to them why I am not able to help them in any way they will wish I can do to help them. One should know what he or she wants in life, and be so much more soaked into it, either than that, someone might advise you wrongly and you might end this beautiful journey called life. I have come to a point in my life where I know and feel that, at any given time in my life, I can die. Because I feel I am empty. My soul, I cannot feel it. I started life with so many ideas and visions. Because I wanted to make it and make it so big that my father will be shamed. My father married 2 women, my mother and my stepmother. He and the 2 women have 8 children. My mother being the first wife has 5 children and I am the firstborn of my mother and father. But, my mother's children's welfare seemed to be something that he never cared about ever since he brought in my stepmother. Her children are enjoying all the good things that as a child you will want from your parents. So, I had to stop schooling and help my mother to do food business so she can take care of the younger ones. That was how my dreams of becoming a banker got shattered. Because there was no one to help push me, and I had to stop to help my mother to push my siblings instead. For whatever reasons best known to my father, he will come to our place and say all manner of things to my mother about how much he sees that spending money on us will be a waste of money and time. Because he does not see anything good coming from us in the future. When it happens like that, my mother will be exchanging words with him. So, one day when he has finished saying all those things, as usual my mother started and I pleaded that she stops. I went straight to my father that very day and told him that, I can look through your eyes and get to understand where all these things are coming from. But today, go and mark it on the wall, this family you see here will one day become the very cornerstone you will need to survive. He laughed at what I said and also told me that we live to see that particular day. He said that and left. When he comes to our place to do such things, that day my mother will not put food in her mouth. She will cry onto bed. This went on for some time and I decided to travel to try and work and gain income so that I can really help my family. That was my only ambition now in my life. I had this friend who was into clothes buying and selling business. And so, I talked to her and she advised that I should start the business from where I am before I would think of traveling. So that even if I go and things does not work out, I can still return and continue that business. This looked good for me. So, I started by giving her small money to also bring me clothes from the city when she goes for her own. And like that, I started small business of clothes selling in my area. It was picking up and my friend told me that we all should go together so I will know where to get the clothes in case something happens and she can't go, that way I can go and get the goods. This was after 5 months into the business. So, we came to the city and she took me through the places where she always go for the clothes. She introduced me to her customers as her sister who might be coming in case she can't come. That was how I started coming to the city. I did this with my friend for 1.5 years. And my mother fell sick. I had gathered some money, and I couldn't watch my mother die. So, I used the money I had for her hospital bills. Realizing that I have lost my money and what was left was the very money I used to purchase the clothes, I decided to come to the city and see how best I can get some goods to sell. This was when I met this lady called Cora. She had also come to buy some of the goods to go and sell. The goods she bought was something that caught my attention. I started asking myself how come a young lady like this can have such an amount of money to buy something like that. Could it have been for her boss or probably her mother? I don't know if I might have said it out loud or something. She smiled at me and came over to where I was standing. She asked me if I wanted to purchase some of the clothes. And I told her yes, but it seems she has purchased everything. She asked how much I wanted to get. When I told her the money I wanted to use to purchase my own, she looked at me and asked if I make enough profit to feed myself from such money. She then started to tell me how much she makes from selling all those she had come to take. She said that this is something that she just feel like doing, and this is not what gives her money. I started getting much interested in the things she was telling me. After a while, the lady called her that she has finished with her package. She then asked me to accompany her to where she had parked her car. When we got there, I was shocked. This young lady is the one driving this Lexus car. I told myself that I must get closer to this lady so she can tell me how to make it just like she has. I had this pain in me about how my father was treating my mother and her children. This pain was the very thing that was driving me to push myself to make it at any cost, in order to prove him wrong about us. Cora gave me her number and on top of it, gave me some amount of money. She called the woman who owns the place we go for the clothes that, whatever I would take, she shouldn't take money from me. Because she would send her the money. I thanked her and she drove away. At this point, I knew my journey to becoming somebody might just have started right that moment. So, I took the clothes back home and started to do business. In about 3 days, I dropped into my mind to give her a call. So, I called her and thanked her for the good gesture she did for me. We had a lengthy conversation and she invited me to come over to the city for a visit. She told me she likes me and would love to help me. And so, I handed over the selling of my clothes that period to my sister who comes after me. I came to the city to meet her. When I got to where she was living, I was overwhelmed by the beauty of the place. She was living in a 3-bedroom house, which she said was her own house, that she bought with her own money. I just couldn't believe that this young girl can have such money to buy this kind of property. She told me that she would love for me to come stay in the city so that she can help me out. She said that she didn't know how much I would be able to control or manage anything she gives me if I return to my hometown. But if I am still in the city, she will be able to monitor me and my progress. It sounded good and so, I told her that I will have to go back home and discuss with my mother before I move permanently. She agreed and even told me that she would love to go with me. So, we went to my hometown together in her Lexus car. When we got to my mother's place and I told her about my new friend and what she is proposing, my mother seemed not to like the idea. She told me that she would prefer me doing my business just the way I was doing it. And if it is the will of God, everything will fall in place for me. But me, I was very tired of the life that we were living, and on top of it, I wanted to prove to my father that I have also made it in life. A lot of things were really driving me, and so, whatever my mother told me that day, I didn't understand her in any way. So she eventually agreed for me to go with my friend Cora. This was the first time I was going to go away from my family. It wasn't an easy thing for me at all. But I was determined never to allow those feelings to push me back. That was how I came to the city with Cora. She gave me one whole room to myself and told me to feel free in the house. And not to see myself as an alien. She said I should see her as a sister who is willing to pull strings for me to do good. Nobody had ever told me something like that before. I also promised Herb would do whatever she asked me to do. Because I have seen that she has a good mind about me. That very evening, she took me out and we had fun. It was like people knew her a lot. Because the moment we went to the place, people started calling her name and coming over to the table to have one discussion or the other. In my head, this lady has connections. I must be a good student in order to also climb the ladder higher like she has done. The next morning, she took me for shopping. She bought expensive clothes for me. That day I cried. She asked me why I was crying. I told her that I never ever dreamt of having this kind of things for myself. Because, judging from where I was coming from, not that my father was not rich, he has money. But has decided not to mind my mother's children. I told her how much he has made us suffer to the extent of that, I had to stop schooling in order to help my mother raise my younger siblings. She looked at me in the face and told me that. Trust me, very soon, your father will be ashamed of himself when he meets you. I told her that is just what I am looking for. Just to one day prove to him that my life or our lives is not in his hands. She tapped me on my shoulder and smiled. She told me that she likes my spirit. And continued that she don't know why she felt the need to take me in and help me. In about 2 weeks in her house I started noticing something. This was something I didn't understand. But I am not a child, so I put the things together and came to a conclusion. The thing was that men were coming into the house frequently. And when they do come, it is like they already know where her room was. I mean, different men were coming to her. Some spent hours. One evening I wanted to ask her why they do come there. It was like she knew I wanted to ask her some questions. And so, she told me to go ahead and ask her whatever that was on my mind. Since she had allowed me, I asked her why men do come to her place and go straight into her room like that. She laughed and after that looked at me for a while. She said she was not going to tell me anything for now, but then, I will understand it when the time comes. Cora told me that, to be successful in life and have money in abundance, one must do things that ordinarily, he or she wouldn't do. She said because, it only takes people who are bold and are ready to take risk to make it in life. So, if I was ready to take bold decisions which might not seem normal, she is also ready to show me the way to make money just like herself.
Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. The final part of this story will be posted at 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time today. Please make time with us and let us all listen to the story. Thank you. Like I always say, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. This story tells me of how as a person you should not live to prove anything to anyone as long as you are on this earth. No matter how bad they may have treated you in the past, never live with the idea of trying to show them anything. Because at the end, you might end up hurting yourself in the process. Please also as men, let us learn to be more responsible in our decisions when it comes to some of these issues. When you give birth, as a man it is your responsibility to provide for the children that you have brought to this world. They don't care if you have 10 wives, but once you have brought them into this world, make sure their responsibilities are fulfilled. Because it is clear that if her father did what he was doing for the other side of the family, she wouldn't be out there about to get herself involved in something she don't know the outcome. Even if as a father, you have issues with the mother of your children, it shouldn't affect the children in any way. I pray that we learn from some of these stories and live a better life. If not for anything at all, it pays to live a decent and better life. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thought with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.